Welcome back to another video from me, guys. My name's Matt, as you know, and today I'm going to do a little review of the Royal Rumble pay-per-view that just finished about 2 hours or so ago. Yeah, that's I'm a bit disappointed, and I think a lot of fans were. So I'm going to try to keep it spoiler-free. I'm not going to say who won any of the matches, but I'll just say straight off, two favourite matches of the show was actually the pre-show match and the title match. So I'll start off. So the pre-show match was New Day, and it was Big E and Kofi Kingston versus the Masters of the Universe, Tyson Kidd and Cesaro. And they had Adam Rose and Natalya in their side, and you had Xavier Woods in the other corner. So that was just the pre-show match, just to get everyone amped up. And usually those matches are just that. They're just there to sort of fill time. But it was actually really good. There's Cesaro and Tyson Kidd, if you've been watching them together, they actually work really well. They got the giant swing with the drop kick. That's awesome. You know, there was a few awesome moves in there. Pretty well-paced match. So I really enjoyed that one. It was a good start. I won't say who won, of course. That's what I'll try not to do. But yeah, good match. So then you just had all the talking filler, setting up and hyping up the pay-per-view. Once it started, the first match was New Age Outlaws, which I love. Big fan of DX and the whole Attitude Era. Versus the Ascension. The Ascension's last couple of promos have been pretty bad. But they came out, they didn't do any talking, and they just got straight to it. And yeah, it was a good match. And holy shit, Billy Gunn is still amazing, and he still looks amazing. So that was a good match too. It wasn't the best, you know. No real, you know, fancy stuff going on there. But it was good to get the Ascension on a pay-per-view for the first time outside of NXT. So that was a good one. Okay, the next one, I can't remember which order this was in, but I'm going to say that it was the Miz and Mizdow versus the Usos for the Tag Team Championship. Again, you know, not too bad of a match. It was alright. But, I don't know, it was only just slightly better than one of the tag matches that they would have on Raw. So, it almost wasn't really pay-per-view worthy, but, you know, Mizdow, just, he's hilarious. So that wasn't too bad, you know. So it was all right. There was no big fault so far. Then next was the Divas match. Now, unless you watch NXT, Divas matches pretty much suck, with the exception of a couple. But this one was Natalya and Paige versus the Bella Twins. Now, why it wasn't a Divas Championship match made no sense. Just having at least Paige or Natalya versus Nikki Bella, but they decided just to have a tag match, and it was no joke, just as good or bad, if you want to call it, as one that they'd have on Raw. Of course, there was a Brie botch, as she usually does, and yeah, I'm not going to talk too much about that match, but it was pretty uneventful. Skipping on next match, so here's the big one, the title match, the triple threat. Holy shit. That was awesome. There was just suplexes left, right, and center. There was Seth Rollins pretty much jumping on top of John Cena and standing on Brock Lesnar's head. I'm not saying it was a curb stomp, but you'll see what I'm talking about when you watch it. Is just crazy. There was a lot of high risk moves, a lot of bad landings, but you know, it's just awesome. It was such a good match, and a surprising one. And that's the problem a lot of people have, is that WWE is very predictable recently, or in the last couple of years, or even more, to be honest. But this one, I didn't actually know who was going to win, so I was a bit surprised. And yeah, I thought it was an excellent match. I wish I could say all the spoilers, but you know, I don't want to upset anyone, as it is. It only just aired a couple of hours ago. But yeah, definitely check that match out. Now to the disappointing part. So, Royal Rumble hits. Now, I'll just say this. It doesn't matter really that the person I wanted to win didn't win. Now, that's not a spoiler because obviously you don't know who I like, so, well, hopefully you don't. But what happened was, I don't know, back in the day I used to remember, well, especially in WCW, because they had 3 rings, they had 60 wrestlers, all starting out at the one time, so you just had mayhem. But even WWE or WWF back in the day, they used to have, you know, probably at least 10 or 12 people in the ring just battling it out. And lately they've just been doing the 2 people come out, 1 gets thrown out, next person comes out, he gets thrown out, next person comes out, he gets thrown out. So it's always like 1 versus 1, maybe 4 in there at most. And that sucks, because the whole thing of the Royal Rumble is just get everyone in there and going nuts and just, you know, leaving it up to fans to just be like, who's going to win, who's going to win? Now, they had some good surprises. There was a couple of wrestlers, one in particular who I was just like, holy crap, I didn't expect him to be there. Another one, which was a legend, was just like, yes, that was awesome, so got a thrill out of that. But this Royal Rumble I thought was going to be different than last year's, especially with the whole Bautista winning last year. This year I thought, you know, there was Ambrose, Ziggler, Reigns, Bray Wyatt, Daniel Bryan, you know, friggin', if you like Ryback and Big Show, but they had a lot of good guys in there, like a lot of top guys in there, and I just thought, this is going to be awesome. Chuck them all in, you know, towards the end and just have them all beat the crap out of each other and have fans guessing, but it really didn't play out like that. And, yeah, you can hear it when you watch the match. You just hear everyone booing. And, yeah, that was pretty much like the unanimous thing, even with my friends who, with my friend who I was watching it with. We just looked at each other and just went, this was crap. So yeah, I can't even talk properly because I'm just so bummed out. I don't know, they still have 2 months to redeem themselves for WrestleMania, but it's just like, this is the 2nd year in a row that you've done this. So why, if the fans are booing like crazy, are you not listening? Like, listen to the fans. There were so many people in that match that could have won, that would have made people happy, and none of them won. And I'm not saying who won, but yeah. One other thing is they made one really big mistake, and that is someone was supposed to enter, their entrance music hit. I'm not going to say what happened, but they didn't actually get in the ring. Yet they didn't get eliminated, so they didn't win the match or lose the match. They didn't actually clear that up, so I'm pretty sure they're going to have some stupid excuse for it tomorrow on Raw, but we can only tell. So, honestly, for a Rumble match out of 10, I would give that a 3, maybe a 2. It was pretty bad. For an overall pay-per-view, I'd only give it a 5 out of 10, because the matches, some of them were good, but you don't even count the pre-show match, because not everyone gets to see that. So for a whole pay-per-view, the rest of the matches were just, you know, good, but they weren't great. But that triple threat match was awesome, but then it was countered by a terrible Royal Rumble. So I just 50-50, 5 out of 10. So yeah, stay tuned, and hopefully, Raw is good tomorrow night and basically gets that bad taste out of everyone's mouth. Alright, thank you for watching. Stay tuned. Thanks.